Well, masingene kuye mntasekhaya masingene.
I thought to myself, let me be a contributor, let me be a participator. So I'm that type of girl with that type of vibe of, what can I do to make the world a better place?
Wow. Ooh. Yeah, Sister Tabby, beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, at least you're masking now, Sister Tabby. You've touched in many things there. I love the part about God-given greatness. Someone said many people drift through life without a purpose, and that each one of us should face the question, why am I living? Why am I living? You need to ask yourself that question. Talk to us, man, Sister Tabby, about mentorship and coaching oti uyayenza as well.
Okay, certainly. Those two roles are quite different,
Okay.
So I like play these two different roles, which are very different. Most people think they're the same thing. I think as a youth leader, because I'm a youth leader, I'm in the youth development space, and also in the empowerment space in terms of working with girls. So in that role, I play a mentorship role, and a mentor, I think, is simply somebody who uses their own personal experiences to try and assist those that are coming behind them by using themselves as a reference. It's offering advice. So I think there's a big room for that in terms of the young people and the work that I do, because when I mentor them, it's where I get to say, let's converse, here's what I have learned over time. With questions and they need advice, and that's where we say, this is what I would advise that you do. So I'm a mentor in that sense, where I share my own positive and negative experiences. I inform them, from what I have learned over time. But also I play a coaching role, which is slightly different, because I think with coaching, we were with, and I did a little course towards coaching, hence I became a qualified coach or a neuro practitioner. Hayana, we were always told that as coaches, we are not advisors. So a coach doesn't sit and tell you what to do, whereas as a mentor, sometimes I do that, because young people come and they like, say, I need advice, and they give me a platform to tell them what to do. But as a coach, you're in a space where you are allowing the other person to be the one that informs the discussion. They tell you what's going on. You just ask the right questions to allow them to, bring out some of the solutions themselves. Because we are good, when people actually own the solutions, they stick on for longer. Unlike me saying, Mr. X, do this, do that, first day, second day. But if it was never something that was internalized, understand it, I need to actually do this to get out of the situation, then because and when it's something that you had, you've seen yourself, this is how I can get unstuck. I came up with the solution myself. So with coaching, that role that I play there is literally just to open a platform to guide people and clarify their aspirations and goals and help them make the decisions that are good for their lives.
Sister Tabby, right ukuthi zahlukene as izinto mentorship and coaching ndivile mina namhlanje, because when you mentor people, uchilo Sister Tabby wathi you more like bring your own experience, you share your own experience, good and bad, then that means you are mentoring them. And of course coaching, it's where you let them be and then you just provide that platform for them and come up with solutions, and you just guide them in terms of asking those right questions. Wow, beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, I hope you are learning something. Sister Tabisa Mrwebi, she's a daughter, she's a friend, a sister, a cousin, a coach, a mentor. She's a youth leader. she's a child of God. Wow. We're talking with her now, Mhlanje, apha kubomi of purpose, living a life of purpose. Sister Tabi, there's something that you touched, Ute. You always try by all means ukufumana your God-given greatness. And I firmly believe one of the most important things that we settled was that in fact lena topic was that it is impossible to have that purpose without understanding and acknowledging that God is the only source of our being, and He alone knows the purpose of our lives. What do you think about that? Which role does God play in all of this thing, in us pursuing our purpose?
Sure. I mean, God is central to a life of purpose. Without God, everything is out of balance. Wow. You know, God holds things in equilibrium. You know, we learned in school about balance and equilibrium. So God is like that central part of living a life of purpose. Wow. Because our purpose stems from Him. You know, I think as believers, we understand that purpose yam isuka kulo mntu ndidalileyo, you know. So I cannot know my purpose, you know, outside of the creator and the giver of purpose. So a life of purpose pursuit has to have God in it. Wow. Because God will inform, God answers the questions, because we all have many questions. We live with, you know, what does this mean? Where am I going? What, you know, how will I get there? When will I get there? So there's only one person who holds the answers, and that's God. So a life that divorces God out of the equation of purposeful living, it's pointless, it's senseless. It's like really, what are you trying to achieve without the mastermind? You know, why try to figure it out on your own when you've got the person who holds the memo? You know, it's like you being a student, and I'm like, here I am, I can help you. I can try to tell you, you know, what they want, and you're like, no, I'll figure it out myself. And I'm like, wasting time.
Sure.
Here's the memo, come. You know, so a life that takes God away, it wastes so much time, because you go around in circles trying to find what God could have just given you in an instant.
Powerful.
You know, or in a shorter period of time.
That's powerful, man. Thank you so much, Sister Tabi. Well, man, it is 14 minutes before the hour 12 o'clock. You're in conversation, living life with Mr. X together with Sis Tabisa Mrwebi. All right. Well, send us your voice notes, questions, and take away from the conversation corner in this conversation. Well, looking up at your WhatsApp. When we come back, Sister Tabi, masbaleke man sifumane just a song quickly. When we come back, I'm going to take 3 or 4 messages, and then we continue with our conversations.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Oh yes, Jiggy Zindo. That is taken from Zonke Dikana live in concert. Oh yes. Zindo yake usisi Zonke. I know it's also one of Sister Tabisa's song. I do want to always ask this question: why this song, Sister Tabi?
That song, I think I just love the title of the song. Now, Jiggy Zindo. You know, that's such a powerful declaration. Things will not remain the way they are, and that's one of our anchors as believers. Wow. This is how things are. This is my fate. No. We turn fate to align with our destiny. So I just love the whole title of the song, and the message, the strong message it brings. And I think it's actually quite aligned to what we're going to talk about today. Because the very first line says, voices in my dream. And today we're going to talk about the voices, because we're going to talk about, some of the...
how do you silence those voices, that influence?
How do you silence the noise? So there's voices around. So there's Uzonke speaks about the voices in her dreams that tell her. Man. So there are voices that tell us stuff, and sometimes this is of teenage voices, you know.
Come on. Wow. Sister Tabisa, thank you so much. Well, we're still in conversation with Sister Tabisa, the fabulous Sister Tabisa. I wish I can just stretch the time, Sister Tabisa, because I do want to ask. I keep on saying the fabulous one because she's also a nominee for Miss Fabulous 2020 as Tabisa, but this is not the last time we're having you here in studio with us in conversation. Right, Sister Tabisa, allow me to just quickly take Nje Abambala or WhatsApp. Hey, Mr. X, it's Pelisa Kunju from East London. I am listening in on your show and I love it. Thank you so much, Uti. It's so impressive. Well done, Buti. Thank you so much, Peli, for that beautiful message. Right, and this one, very clear, relatable. All right, I'd like her to touch on the importance of professionalizing a calling, a God-given purpose, using her personal journey as a reference, e.g., school for coaching and mentoring, training, getting coaching in public speaking. These always seem like they come natural when you are called to do them. How do we follow her on social media? That is coming from Ulele Tunokwe. Sister Abi, how do people follow you on social media?
Cool. On social media, I'm on Facebook as Tabisa Mrwebi. I've got a couple of pages there. So I've got my personal page, Tabisa Mrwebi. Tabisa and Mrwebi both don't have an H.
Okay.
I'm on there under This Girl Wins. And I'm also under there as Tabisa Speaks. So that's the 3 pages that I currently look after on Facebook, and then on Instagram at Mrwebi Tabisa.
Thank you so much. All right, follow her, Sis Lele Tupa, and I am sure there's a lot that you're going to get there. Well, beautiful man. Okay, let's touch on this one. Utikelona Gepa, great conversations and music is superb. Thank you so much. Life without a purpose is like walking with your eyes blindfolded. Wow, and not knowing where you are heading. Tori Roberts says in his book, Purpose Awakening, there is nothing more important in a person's life than to find out why they are here. Wow, that is coming from Daniel Petse, Quad 3M Tanzania. Thank you so much, Daniel, for that beautiful message. Well, Sister Abby, let's get into it. We've touched a lot, taking from Izindo Ozenzayo that you are busy with, your calling, professional and spiritual, otherwise. Let's talk about these voices. Let's talk about Izindo that seems to be trying to take away the focus, trying to say, this is impossible, this cannot be done. Because you are dealing with young people, looking at the challenges around that as you are busy with youth development as well. Let's talk about these voices. How do we silence these things? Because we know, talking from a scriptural point of view, there's a part in the Bible where Nehemiah was building the walls, rebuilding the walls. These guys are trying to drag him down. Come down, let's talk. Trying to get him away from building. And I love how he answers those questions. I'm busy here, not losing the focus of what is set in Pambi Kwako. Talk to us in the field that you are in. And of course, generally speaking, how do we silence those voices? And what are these voices?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. X. If I want to begin by saying, if somebody asked me a while ago, what is the pathway to this God-given greatness or the pathway to success? I'd give them the answers that we all used to. Success comes as a result of hard work. It comes as a result of perfecting your craft, learning from your failures, persistency, resistance, and all these other beautiful things. But after you made me aware of this topic, I think going forward, I'm going to add this silencing the noise. Success is also coming as a result of learning to silence the noise around us.
Wow.
And so I want to add it. It's such a powerful topic. I can just see we're not going to.
You're coming back. You're coming back.
Part of the success journey, it requires us to silence the noise. There's always noise around us. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what level you already are. So you're professional, or say novice, there's always going to be noise. And on the pathway to success, you will always be confronted with noise. And we need to learn how to deal with this noise. We deal with it as individuals. We deal with it as people who are married. We deal with it as leaders. We deal with it as students. There's no escaping the noise, you know. Wow. And we're not talking here about the physical noise.
The
music blasting in the street. We're not talking about the children crying hysterically on the plane. I mean, those are minor things. We're talking about the noise as the voices that speak into our lives, you know. So we want to define this noise as
yes, ma'am.
It's the voices that are speaking in our lives. And I want to first say, the purpose here, noise, it's twofold. One, it is to distract you from finding your purpose. So the purpose of the noise, these voices that speak into our life, they want to distract you from finding, because the enemy knows if Mr. X, if Uzodwa out there, if Anela was to just find her purpose, she's gone. Because finding your purpose is instrumental to being an effective and a contributor in our society. So in noise says, don't find your purpose. Okwesibini, it is so ifumene uba ungabi sayifulfilla, like ube distracted. You know, the noise brings distractions from fulfilling. Because I can't even begin with so but that's where I'm supposed to go. But kubekho just so many things in between that just hinder you from getting to where you're supposed to go. So that noise, people must know there is noise in my life to distract me from finding my purpose. Number two, from fulfilling my purpose. Then I want to say, Mr. X, there are different types of noise. You know, there is the, we'll call it the internal and the external noise.
Okay.
The external noise is the opinions of others about you. You know how people are, most people are people. People will take conclusions. People will speculate. People always feel they have a right to share their sentiments about you. And la noise, it's that external noise. It's the feedback that you get from the people outside of you. It's the feedback you get from social media. You know, it's the feedback you get from TV, from radio, from the internet. And because all these things are great, you know, they serve as a source of, you know, information. But it becomes a problem when we use them as a source to gauge our significance and our esteem.
Wow.
And that's a problem. You know,
very big problem.
The noise, you know. So okay, but let's not go in. So external noise, social media, TV, radio, internet. But there's also this internal noise, which I want us to focus on today. The noise that only you can hear. Because in your own mind, there are these ongoing conversations with yourself that are more critical than the external. You know, because some people manage the external noise. You know, they know how to balance what
put it at bay.
So they you know, we've learned that level. But in is knowing how to mute the negative internal noise in our own heads. The voices we hear before we go to bed, the voices we hear when we wake up in the morning. We need to know how to navigate and how to manage that internal voice that rings in our head, because that's the loudest. That's the one we can't.
That's the loudest.
You can't separate yourself from it.
Sure.
Yes. You know, external noise. You know what? Let me just hide. But the problem with the internal noise is that it's with you in hiding. The future yakho, the purpose yakho. So we need to distinguish between these noises and learn how to deal with them.
Wow, Sister Tabisa, you. I just wish really you can just continue, keep on going. Sister Tabisa, would you agree with me? Would you agree with me when I say one of these things, as in why the internal voices, these negative internal voices in us, you are not enough. And that could result in depression, which is what we are seeing now. Whenever you're looking yourself in the mirror, there are voices as tetayo, and you said something also, you cannot run away from them because you cannot run away from yourself. You can do something, Ngalena. You can switch off your phone, you can switch off TV, lock yourself in your room. But when you are dealing with you, how do you navigate around that? You are not enough as the person. How do you get out of that?
Sure. Okay. Just before I answer that question, I want to quickly run through a number of voices that I actually jotted down when I thought about this.
Yes, ma'am.
Then I'll answer that question.
Thank you so
much.
So
there's so many voices that speak in it. So I'm going to literally just highlight like a few. The first one is speaking to what you just asked. There's a voice of insignificance. That's speaking. The voice that makes you want to feel unimportant. The voice that makes you feel irrelevant, where it feels like the world would be a better place without me. Like nobody sees me, nobody notices me. I'm not enough, So there's this voice of insignificance. People must take note of it because whatever you discover, at least we tamanga, because now okay, there's this voice of discouragement that I must listen to. There's a voice of fear. That voice that gives you panic, that makes you scared, that just gives you anxiety. And I'll be writing their panic, there's a voice of fear, there's a voice of discouragement. No matter how great you are, there are always going to be episodes or seasons of discouragement where you lose confidence and enthusiasm, where you feel like giving up. Just stop, like leave it, forget it, don't bother. That's the voice of discouragement. But you know what? We know you now.
Sure.
You're the voice of discouragement.
That's it. Voice of discouragement.
There's a voice of our negative past. We all have a past, and our past continues to speak. There's a voice of our past, and we all have a past, but we must be careful how we allow our past to feature in our present and our future. So if voice your past, make no limits. It past no limits. Okay. You know what, Goku? The negative past, it's overstaying its welcome. There's a voice of lack. In this kind of amplifier what I don't have over what I have. Like there's this voice of lack and khombisa zonke izinto ezi absent, and khombisa zonke izinto ezihamba wrong, downplaying everything else that's going right. I thought to myself as I woke up today, we must break this habit of lamenting over our unmet needs, because it blinds us to what is going right. This voice of lack makes this voice of lack, it makes us not even see, but njengobungekabi nayo leya khumbula ezisonazo, so there are all these voices, Mr. X. I could go on and on about them, but how do we silence this voice, these voices, insignificance, of negative past, of fear, of discouragement, of lack? I believe you silence them by just choosing what you're gonna entertain.
Come on.
Ne?
Yeah.
Because ubomi bethu afuneka ngasiphile singathi sikwi-autopilot, like ngathi izinto yazenzekela, ngathi wena you have no say. I'm feeling so down today and there's nothing I can do about it. There's always something you can do about it. So it's you who chooses what you're gonna entertain.
Come on.
It's you who chooses to filter the messages that you're gonna internalize.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because again, like if we look at those external messages that surround us, the external messages are powerful on their own until we internalize them.
Until we internalize them. Wow.
I mean, all of those things don't matter until I repeat them to myself.
Come on.
Whatever. But the minute I get home and I internalize, this means I'm not attractive. This means we
internalize. I can go. Yes. Forgetting that you hold the power. You hold the power.
Exactly.
Oh God, Sister Tabby. 10 minutes. God, 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. Sister Abby, I'm going to tell you now. I want us to have an opportunity to just listen to what people are saying. And of course, if there are any voice notes, I do encourage you, please send us those voice notes from 12:15. I know, Sister Abby, 12:15. I just want to give you that opportunity to let us know if you've got any voice notes. Sister Abby, let me just quickly take these messages. Sure. What a great message from Sister Tabisa. Indeed, those voices are a problem at times. You find it hard to move on because of them. Wow, that is a beautiful message there. Hi, Mr. X. I would like to ask Sister Tabisa, Ukuba, how do you identify your purpose, especially when you know where you are? It's not where you're supposed to be, but you don't know what exactly you're supposed to be. How do you find your purpose? Maybe, Sister Tabby, you can just give us an answer on that one if you can.
Okay, so my opinion on that question is you need to look your purpose is always going to be aligned to the things that you can do.
Amen.
So you're not going to now think doing my purpose yam inobidibene mhlambi noba yino nento zoba pilot nento, because I'm not in that space. You know, I must find what is it that interests me. Yintoni izinto that tickle my fancy. What is it that excites me? So once it has, but okay, mhlambi I'm drawn into making a difference in people's lives. Into yami idibene nento soloko idibene nabantu, inokwenza net development of people. Then from just that knowing yourself and what you like, you can then just start uncovering. Okay, then my purpose must lie in people development. And once you know the general area of where your purpose lies, it's then the way you do research, because we need to research. We can't be lazy sitting back. We need to then research. Okay, then zithini izinto ezipha around people development. That's how I learned about coaching. I knew I wanted to make a difference in people's lives, but I didn't know that there was coaching until I actually started reading up about it. Investigating yintoni zithini indlela zokwenza le end result ndiyifunayo.
Sure.
What are the different career paths? What are the different skills that you can get? So purpose yako is always aligned to what you enjoy and what you want to do. Then when it's up to you to now reach out to people who can help you more into discovering how you can use that filter over area or sphere of influence.
Thank you so much, Sister Tabby. Wow. Are we having a great conversation or what? This is Living Life with Mr. X on Radio 537. Every Thursday, we will be bringing you such conversations. Well, at about 12:15, Sister Tabby, we will be, in fact, we are very close then. If there are any questions, please, ungabaleki, we will entertain those questions as well. Thank you so much, man, Sister Tabby, for such groundbreaking conversation. Thank you for that, Sister Tabisa, participator of life. Yay, the voices that speak into our lives. Civile, Sister Tabisa, but it's twofold. I can't keep still and quiet. Wow. Thank you so much, Sisi, for imparting your life, knowledge and wisdom that is coming from Usis Mrwebi. Remember, we had her last week talking about Indosunkulu also. We're enjoying having them in this conversation. One of the people I look up to, we thank you, Sister Tabi, for being you. That is coming from Uvuyo Sabani. Thank you so much, Uvuyo, for that beautiful message. Well, Sister Tabi, let's continue. Right, Masbambelona ge utipa. Oh, Sister Tabi, powerful. Thank you so much. That is coming from. All right. Okay. I'll just check quickly here. All right, Sister Tabi. I ndivile mna ngez voices, and ndivile nenhloso. There's something that stood out for me, oichiloyo wati, when we entertain these internal voices, we end up lamenting on our unmet needs. That is hindering us from being appreciative of where we are currently. Awukwazi nobona okuhle okwenzekayo ebomini bakho when you are only focusing on the bad things ezenzekayo in your life.
That's it, Mr. X. I mean, I think that's where most of us miss it. Life where we enjoy, the current state, because uphile ukhangela into eshotayo uzayifumana. If you start looking around trying to find what's missing, you'll get it. You'll get it, because all of us always have room, for more. But we need to get to a point where we rather open ourselves to realizing what we already have. Because once we are in your coil in your basket, then you use it optimally. So you're like, okay, and Gabina into a till, but what can I use today? What can I use right now to be able to, to push me towards living my life of, purpose? So people, we've got to get to that point. Let's understand what you have and use it optimally.
Sure. Sister Tabisa, thank you so much. What an informative time we had with you. Eye-opening conversation, man. And ndiyafuna ukuchopha phambi kwabaphulaphuli bazokuva kwenze ba xa ndikucela ecaleni ungavumi but uvume baphambi kwabo that you are definitely going to come back, Sister Tabisa, as we continue, because this feature apha ku Living Life ngolesine, living a life of purpose, is something that is going to continue, and these are the kind of stories that we want to talk about. These are kind of conversations that we want to sibe nazo, especially during the kind of amaxesha esiphila kuwo. So I thank you so much, man, for taking time. Remember, Mphulaphuli dichilo ke nathi, please, man, if you've got any voice notes, continue bringing them in. Sister Tabisa, ixesha lethu liyaphela, but ndizambamba ndizake ndimzulisele nje kancinci, and then we continue with the program. Well, mandive nje lona ke phake uthi, hi, I am listening from King William Stanley Phakamisa. I am one of the people that are under leadership kaSis Tabi. She's my youth pastor. I've also worked with her on her This Girl Wins project. Indeed, she's a phenomenal woman that young girls look up to, so full of love and wisdom. Big up T, that is coming from Uzinhle Phakamisa. Wow. Thank you so much, Zinhle, for that beautiful message. Because of time, asifika nganofika with This Girl Wins, and these are the things that influence so that when you come back, Sister Tabisa, we can talk about these things, because I know you are a very busy woman. Thank you so much, Sister Tabi. Your final remarks, Sister Tabi.
Thank you so much, Mr. X, for having me. I truly enjoyed our session together.
Thank you so much.
And man. I mean, I think just my last words to everybody is let's be on top of things. Let's understand these voices and seek help where there is a need for help. Reach out. I can't be suffer in silence. I'm struggling. Wow. I am struggling with these voices that discourage me. Look for people who can speak positively, speak into your future. Do not suffer in silence. And again, let's get on to that wagon of purposeful living. We all have a responsibility to live out our purpose, and our purposeful living is what will give us fulfillment. It's what will lead us to success and to greatness. May everybody understand that and come to meet, with their God-given greatness.
Sure.
Soon.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sister Tabi. Well, before we go, Sister Tabi, tell me, where can people get hold of you? I know you did say that, and also, what are you currently busy with? Just let us know, man.
Sure, people can get a hold of me on those social media platforms, or they can WhatsApp me. My number is 0609310974. I'm always open to assist wherever I can. And especially that there was a person who asked a question about professionalizing your passion. Please write to me so that I can just guide you on that. They can contact me on WhatsApp. And what am I busy with? I am.
Can you repeat that number for us?
It's 060 931 0974.
0974. Yes, you're busy with?
Busy with TGW. So with busy trying to see how during this lockdown we can still make a difference in young people's lives. So we do a lot online coaching sessions. Yes, and I'm looking forward to Fabulous Women Awards ezike bekesathetha ngazo kancinci eqaleni. They stem from that I do with TGW.
Wow.
So I am so grateful that I'm no longer just a nominee, but I'm now a finalist.
Come on. Wow. So do you see why you have to come back? Do you see why you have to come back, really? Because we really need to unpack this fabulous woman thing, and of course TGW, especially when you speak about lockdown. There are things and reasons during this lockdown, and I think people need to hear that, really. So you are going to come back very soon.